What's up, everybody? My name is Shannon and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today we are talking about Leia, Princess of Alderaan by Claudia Gray. So just like with the Phasma novel, I actually read this in the run up to TLJ and I just never made a video for it. I think there might be like a really old video on Network 1901 about it, but I just read Queen's Shadow, which is all about Padme, and it made me really want to revisit this book because they are very similar in structure. They are entirely focused just on this one female character, and there isn't really like a big huge plot or anything. It's much more slice of life, and because of that I was like, all right, well, we just got this huge in-depth look at Padme, so what happens if you jump forward to Leia, Princess of Alderaan, and get a little bit more going for you there? And let me tell you, it's pretty awesome. It's quite a ride, and if you want to know more about that, I will be talking about it on Thursday. But for those of you guys who don't know, Leia, Princess of Alderaan takes place when Leia is 16 years old, and it actually starts off on her Day of Demand, which is where she comes before her parents in this big ceremony declaring herself as the next heir of Alderaan, like she will be its next queen. But on Alderaan, you have to go through some trials first to prove yourself worthy. Specifically, you have a trial of the heart, body, and mind. And through this book, it's Leia going on these trials and not only learning about how to be queen and what it's going to take in order for her to be a good queen, but a lot more about herself as well. Because in this book, you really find out that Leia doesn't really have much going for her other than the fact that she is the Princess of Alderaan. Like, she's very attached to her parents, she's very attached to who she is, but when you strip all of that away, she doesn't really have anything left. She doesn't have a lot of friends her age. She doesn't have a lot of interests outside of being part of the apprentice legislator and all of that kinds of stuff. So you really get to see her take a step back and learn how to be a teenage girl. She gets a lot of friends throughout this book, and she really goes on this amazing emotional experience. I personally really love seeing Leia in this light because in the original trilogy, you really only see her as this kick-ass princess who is just like doing her best, but you really get a lot more in-depth here into how she thinks about things and how she becomes part of the rebellion, how she takes it in and it becomes part of her identity. And above more than anything, you see how lonely she is. She is feeling very pushed away by her parents at the beginning of this book, and that's because they're wrapped up in the rebellion and they don't want Leia to be a part of it so that she, can still continue to be herself, and if something were to happen, hopefully that means that nothing would happen to her. But Leia sees this distance as, well, what have I done wrong? Like, what's going on? How can I bridge this gap? And that's what she seeks out to try to do. When she sees a problem, she takes it upon herself to try to find that solution. And above more than anything, she is just so unbelievably selfless because that's how she was raised to be on Alderaan. You really get to see a lot of Padme's personality and Anakin's, especially Anakin's personality, peeking through here, and I just really love all of the relationships that you get to see her develop, especially with Holdo. Like, this book was supposed to be like the run-up to The Last Jedi, so you get to see a little bit of the planets going on there. You get to meet Amil and Holdo before, that movie and everything, and see their friendship growing, and I just thought it was really beautiful. Claudia Gray really is just like the queen of YA Star Wars books, in my opinion, though I am only giving this book a B+, mostly just because I wish when it comes to the characters, I wish we could get a little bit more. It is like a little bit fluffy, just for my opinion, and I have this same problem with all Star Wars books in that the third acts kind of falter because it's like, oh yeah, it's Star Wars, we have to like do something crazy, and sometimes it doesn't always fit. But regardless, this is still an absolutely outstanding read, and if you haven't read it yet, I highly recommend that you do, especially read it with Queen's Shadow and Rebel Rising. More than anything, I could see so much connective tissue between these three books, and these three books are all very similar. Obviously, this book is going to tie in a little bit more as well with Claudia Gray's other books like Lost Stars and Bloodlines, so there's just a lot connected together here, and I feel like you really get to see it all sort of falling into place with this, and it's just very interesting. Highly recommend it. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you can talk books with me every week. That is everything got for today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!